Back roads to big cities and where the West begins, we are the voices of North Texas. NTX Media.
Your customers already pay for your product. They pay sales tax. And if they use a credit card, they may even pay interest on top of that. The fees add up. The last thing they need in today's economy is another fee at checkout. And as a business owner, you feel that too, because every extra charge can impact how customers see your brand. At Swipe Merchant Services, our mission is to help you avoid that. And by lowering your processing costs, you don't have to pass fees on to your customers just to stay profitable. That means smoother transactions, better customer experiences, and stronger long-term local relationships. Because when people feel good about doing business with you, they come back and they tell others. This isn't just about saving money. It's about building a business people trust. Join the Swipe Nation today and start doing business the smarter way at swipenationusa.com.
Storm damage is stressful, but dealing with your insurance company shouldn't be. You expect your coverage to be there for you, but too often, claims are denied, delayed, or underpaid, leaving homeowners and business owners stuck paying the price. If your roof or property has been damaged, the insurance company's first offer isn't always the right one. At Todd Hurd & Associates, attorneys at law, they've spent over 25 years helping clients navigate complex insurance claims and fight back when coverage falls short. Whether it's roof damage, structural issues, or storm-related losses, their team works to make sure you receive the compensation you're entitled to. Don't leave money on the table, and don't take on the burden alone. Call Todd Hurd & Associates today at 817-426-4529. That's 817-426-4529. Get the support you need and protect what matters most.
Some gifts mean more because of the story behind them. I'm Tiffany Carlin, the inventor of Tiffy Sleeves. It all started in 2009 with a simple moment, sitting in church on a cold Easter Sunday, wishing there was an easier way to add sleeves without layering. That idea stayed with me. And when I was 8 months pregnant with my third child, I decided to bring it to life. I designed the first pair, and my mom sewed the very first prototype. Today, that simple idea has grown into something that helps women feel more confident, more comfortable, and more themselves. Made with all-way stretch in a soft cotton blend or lace, Tiffy Sleeves give you the look of layering without the bulk. This Mother's Day, give something thoughtful, something meaningful, something created with love. Shop now at thetiffy.com and use code MOM25 to receive 25% off your order. From one mother's hands to women everywhere. Happy Mother's Day. Let's talk about those cash discount fees. Your customers already pay for the product. They pay sales tax. And if they're using a credit card, they're paying interest too. And now they're asked to pay even more. That moment at checkout, it matters, because when customers see that extra charge, it creates friction. And friction doesn't just affect one sale, it affects whether they come back. At Swipe Merchant Services, we believe there's a better way. Instead of passing costs on to your customers, we help you lower your actual processing fees so you can protect your margins without adding extra charges. No awkward conversations and no surprise fees, just a better experience for your customers and a smarter strategy for your business. Because when paying the tab feels good, they tip better and they come back. They spend more and they trust your brand. Stop passing it on and instead start paying less. Join the Swipe Nation today at swipenationusa.com. That's swipenationusa.com.
Hey, everybody. You got me, Bill?
I got you, buddy. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Before we jump into it, just want to remind everybody today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at NTX Media at ntxradio.com. Take it away, Bill.
All right, man. Today's episode is titled "The Winds of Change." The Dallas Mavericks recently made a change to their front office and hiring Masai Ujiri to be the team's president and alternate governor. It did not happen immediately, but within 2 weeks, the Mavericks and head coach Jason Kidd have mutually agreed to part ways. That is a bit of a shock to some, maybe not so shocking to others. I have mixed feelings on this. I think that it was time. I think that I see that they're trying to make a clean sweep of this. Unfortunately, one of the people most involved is not going to go anywhere, and that's the owner, Patrick Dumont. But they did. I believe they made a good hire with Masai Ujiri. I believe they're headed in the right direction. This is going to get some fresh blood in here. It is tough because Jason Kidd had the support of Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving, your two best players. So, man, it's just, and the more I found out about this, and I had a pretty good idea before, and I think you did too, that Kidd had some level of culpability in this whole thing with Luka being traded. He did show support, some form of support for this, Luka being gone. And that to me, that's not good.
I think that was reflective in the way that Luka showed his relationship towards Jason Kidd soured when he returned to Dallas. Like it was like a bitter, it was very cold towards J Kidd. Like it was not a good relationship. And then the more you hear about it, like it was almost as if, and then the more you heard about Nico and the more you look into the situation, it looks as if not so much Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd supported the decision to trade Luka. And then Nico basically walled off everyone from Dumont and basically cornered Dumont away from the rest of the organization and had it to where he was the only person that had Dumont's ear and had this organization, for lack of better terms, by the short and curlies. And he did whatever he wanted to do here, and there was nothing nobody could do. Like nobody could say anything, even Cuban. So you can say what you want about Dumont. Dumont was doing what he thought was the right thing and listening to the person that he trusted. And you can call him ignorant, which is true. Ignorant isn't necessarily the wrong thing to say. He's just not a basketball savant, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. He's trying to correct it. So
yeah,
give him credit.
He is. And I do give him credit for that he is trying to correct this. He got rid of Nico finally. And I don't guess I really realized this. I mean, I've been watching the team, for as long as I could remember. Kidd was here 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They missed the playoffs in 3 of those years, including one of them this year when they were horrible. They were god awful, 26 and 56.
Mm-hmm.
But the lone highlight, and it was a great highlight. Cooper Flagg, number 1 overall draft pick, rookie of the year. He's a franchise cornerstone. He's a fantastic player. We're excited about that. Missed the playoffs 3 years. The other 2 years that they got in the playoffs, 22 they were in the West Finals. 24 they were in the NBA Finals.
Yep.
So it's either, this is kind of one of those, it seems like with this team, it's one of those all or nothing kind of things. You're way up or you're way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Mavs actually have their own first round pick this year and one other one. They have 2 first round picks. It'll be the last time they control their first round picks for, I don't know, until like 2031.
Yeah.
So next 5 years. So, they got to make some hay here. You have some possible trade pieces. I'm hearing now that there's talk that the teams are going to be calling the Mavericks about Kyrie Irving.
Sure.
I would hold off on that. Let him get back, and if he can get back, and we're not doing great, but he is. See what he can get you at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
I love Kyrie. I want to see how he plays with Cooper Flagg. I'm excited about. There's a few names I've heard as possible, guys that they would be interested in. 2 of the guys I absolutely love. One of them, I don't know. I love him, but I don't know that I want him for this job. and I don't know that he would leave his current job, and that's John Shire, the head coach at Duke.
Yeah, I love the coach, and I agree. Yeah. I don't think he would leave. I don't think so. I think
that's
right.
home. That's home. That's one of, if not the most prestigious basketball program in the country. You know, he played there. I mean, the young man literally grew up there. So he's an assistant there for Coach K for years. They've also mentioned Micah Nori, who has been the lead assistant for the T-Wolves for the last 5 years. Fine assistant. I think he's going to make a good head coach one of these days. But that's not the gentleman I'm talking about. The other one I would like to see come back to Dallas. And even though he is a former kid assistant, from what I understand, he would be viewed as a separate entity that has nothing to do with Jason Kidd, and that is Sean Sweeney.
Yeah.
He left a couple of years ago to go and be the associate head coach with the Spurs. He is a defensive guru. He is one of the best assistant coaches in this league. Yeah. And he was a kid assistant for 4 years here. He's been in the league for a long time now. I would, but he's still fairly young. Yeah, I would love to see them bring Sean Sweeney back here. Yeah. I think he would have support from the players. I think Sean Sweeney is a hell of a coach. He's still young enough. He's got a lot of years left, and granted, you have Wembanyama, your defense is not going to be completely terrible. Right. But overall, that team that Spurs team defense. I mean, you watched what they did the other night against Chet Holmgren, 8 points. Shane Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, he had 24 points, but it was on 7 of 23 shooting. Yeah, they are an excellent defensive team. It helps to have the players, but the Mavericks have some good defensive pieces. Cooper Flagg is going to be an all-defensive first teamer one of these years. Derek Lively, if he's healthy, he has that capability as well. Sure, but I'm excited to kind of see what direction. I'm hoping that they seriously consider Sean Sweeney and that he's actually really interested in this. Yeah. Masai Ujiri does have a history. He won an NBA championship with the Raptors in 2019. That's when they somehow managed to get Kawhi Leonard and go on that great run that they did and won a title for the Raptors. The best coach out of all the ones he's hired between Denver and Toronto would be Nick Nurse. Yeah. Nick Nurse is good. He's a good coach. He's the one that he was a young coach when Ujiri hired him there. He ends up winning that championship there. I just think I don't think that Masai Ujiri is going to go and try and find the hot coach he wants to find the next great coach. He's just not. Yeah. He's not going to go to somebody that's just like currently the hot coach. He wants to find the next great coach. Yeah. He wants to find the next great right coach because he's got to find a coach that can develop Cooper Flagg into the next generational prospect that he's supposed to be, and he wants to find a guy that can develop young prospects that we're going to get in this draft class and turn them into the next, you name the young prospect that he drafted in Toronto. Right. Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby. Yeah. These guys were all mid to late first round draft picks. These guys were mid to late first round draft picks. And I know that I'm missing a couple of more, but those are just the top 2 guys that spring to my mind. Both excellent players in this league. So talent can be found later in the draft. You can. And that's what he has excelled at. Yeah. And with the limited resources that you will have with the position that the Mavs have perpetually put themselves in as Mark Cuban as the owner, and recently, with what the Mavericks did to get themselves in the position to draft Luka Doncic and to put themselves in the position to be competitive for the last few years that they were in, they are going to have to depend. This year is vital. What they do in this draft, they cannot miss, especially with the first pick that they have in the top 10. The number 9 overall pick. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. They have to hit. They have to hit. And the pick that they get on the later end
has to be at minimum a rotational piece.
A contributor. Right? He has to be.
He has to contribute, whether it be offensively, whether it's a 3-and-D guy or a defensive big, or whatever the case may be. Maybe not a defensive big because we've already got 2 of those guys, but you know what I'm saying. He has to contribute and be a rotational piece.
He's got to be able to do something for you to help this team. Right. He can't just be one of the 12th man on the end of the bench here.
Right. He can't be that guy that you just take a flyer on and he's there and he's one of those guys you see and you like him, but in 2 years he's out of the NBA and you never hear from him again.
We don't need a towel waiver. Yeah, we don't need a towel waiver.
We don't need that.
All 4 of those guys, but not this team, not right now. One other thing about this situation that this hiring of Masai Ujiri and the firing of Jason Kidd, parting of ways, however you want to say it. One other thing this does is basically eliminates Mark Cuban completely from the equation, because his connection with Jason Kidd is, that was kind of, Mark had kind of an insight into the building a little bit. This eliminates that. He is not. This is not there anymore.
Also, if you remember right, like Mark went on to that podcast not long after the Luka debacle, and he was the one that kind of clued everybody into saying, hey, Nico wasn't the only one left here that and that's what kind of gave me the side eye when, like, after that happened and after Kidd was kind of in the shadows, like, I don't really want to be here, like, I don't really want to be. I felt bad for Jason Kidd. Like, it was like he made it seem like he had nothing to do with this and he was just left in this situation. And, like, it was really bad. I felt bad. I genuinely felt bad for him. And then to hear how he may have been one of the main components to the reason that Luka was traded, if not, if possibly maybe not 50%, maybe he was 30% of the reason that Luka was traded, that's still a significant reason. As to, like, if your head coach doesn't like Luka, whatever the reason may be, he's the reason you were relevant as a head coach. Let's just be honest, let's just be honest here. And if Jason Kidd goes somewhere else, the writing was on the wall. When you start hearing Jason Kidd say, I want to be a general manager or I want to be a manager, I knew his days were numbered here.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get that. And they told him that he was not going to be seriously considered for that. Matt Riccardi, who was another executive for the Mavs, it was also announced that he will not be returning to the team. He was the guy that was kind of the runner-up to Masai Ujiri for that job. Yeah. One person that's kind of in limbo, and I'm still waiting to hear where he's going to go, and that's former Mavericks All-Star Michael Finley. Hopefully, somehow, some way, they managed to keep Michael Finley here.
I think he's well liked in the building. They're just trying to figure out what he can do.
Exactly.
They just don't have, like, I think Ujiri will like him. I maybe he doesn't know him per se, but I think he will like him. It's just where can he go here and contribute where he can't go somewhere else and contribute with another organization, right? I think he's one of those guys that they'll want to keep him in the building somewhere, some way.
I hope so.
I want to keep him here. That would be fantastic. Obviously, I don't think Dirk had a problem with Jason Kidd. They were friends and
played together, won a championship together, man. John, you know me. I've told you this many times. I'm a big Jason Kidd lover. I was as a player when he was coming out of college. Back then I was still young enough. I was collecting cards. Yeah. I had a bunch of Jason Kidd rookies. I was a big fan of his when the Mavs drafted him number 5 overall out of Cal. Yeah. So fan of his as a player. I was so excited to see him, later in his career come back and win a championship with this team. And I was excited when they hired him to be the coach, but it's just kind of worn out his welcome. And I don't know how. I don't know. I don't understand. I know that you want to be in control, but you don't trade a franchise cornerstone.
Yeah.
You don't support that. And then to get what they got for him, that everybody involved in that should be gone.
Look, I wouldn't like I respect Jason Kidd. I love Jason Kidd, the basketball player, but as a coach, I don't really have a lot to say about him. Like, if you take Luka Doncic out of the equation, he's an average coach. But he was 205 and 205
and 205. Yeah, I didn't realize that either till I saw that today, and I'm like, wow, he's the Jeff Fisher of NBA basketball coaches.
Right. He's just another. He's a jag. He's just another guy.
Just another guy.
He's a Hall of Fame basketball player, right? He played a lot of years in the NBA, but as a coach, I'm not saying he doesn't know everything about basketball, but as a coach, like Mike Singletary is a Hall of Fame linebacker. That doesn't mean he's a great defensive coordinator or a great football coach. You know, like that doesn't mean anything, right? Like Mike Leach could not play football, right? I think he was a lawyer, but he was a hell of a football coach, right?
Yep.
You know, Sonny Dykes, he was a baseball player. He's a fantastic football coach, you know, so like it doesn't always translate. So
no, it doesn't. And you're correct on that. I just,
it's heartbreaking that he had to leave, but you know, I think he was soured on the organization.
Oh, he was.
I don't think he liked the way that fans questioned him.
Media or anybody.
And you know, when he said he came out, I think he said no one died or something like that. We got to move on.
Died.
We got to move on. It's like, dude, okay. Could you imagine if what would have happened to this fan base if someone would have traded Dirk?
Oh,
could you imagine?
This would have been a riot. Would have been worse than it was with Luka.
The city would have gone up in flames.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been bad, you know. So, but I will also say for Mark Cuban, for all of his faults, he would have never traded Luka Doncic.
He would not
for
have.
nothing.
No.
So,
no. Yeah, I don't think he would have traded him. Period. Honestly,
no, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
But you know, he loves his star players. He really does.
For Luka to have been here, Luka he would not have re-signed here. He would have left on his own free will. Yep. He would have left, and he would have had to, with Mark Cuban hanging onto his ankles, dragging him out of the building. Like that's what. Oh yeah. Happened. So, you know, man, it's tough. It's very tough.
On to some more. You know, let's go on the court news here, if you will.
Okay.
The conference finals have started. The Eastern Conference just started yesterday, but that was only because the Detroit Pistons, you know, they choked away their future. They were the number one seed overall in the East, which I think a whole lot of people really bought into that. No. They struggled with Orlando in the first round.
Yeah,
and anyway, Cleveland took them down. Well, then Cleveland turns around and does the same thing last night against the Knicks. They blew a 22-point lead with under 8 minutes to go.
Gross.
And ended up losing in overtime. That is disgusting. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had 29 points, but, I mean, nobody else on that team had more than 15. And they were the Knicks were repeatedly going at James Harden because he is a defensive liability.
Yeah.
Like
his entire career.
They had no answer for Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. That last 8 minutes, he scored 15 points that last 8 minutes of regulation. And, you know, tied it up, and then going to overtime and easily dominated in overtime. And, you know, the Cavs choked away a golden opportunity to win game one on the opposing team's home court. Whereas the other side, the Western Conference Finals, night before last, game two is tonight. I'm not a fan of either franchise. I think I know this. I think you know this.
Yeah.
But I do have my wife's family, and you know they are a huge Spurs fan, and I've been watching a lot. I'm a fan of good basketball, and these are my opinion, the two best teams in the league, and they have been all year.
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP, and Victor Wembanyama went and showed that he, in my opinion, was the real MVP.
Yeah.
The man in a double overtime win scored 41 points and grabbed 24 rebounds to go along with 3 blocks. That's not even the craziest thing. The man is not a human. I swear he is from another planet.
Yeah.
This is a guy that from 35 feet out, down 3 in overtime, 35 feet out, he just calmly pulls up from 35 feet and drills a 3-pointer like it's nothing.
Like he does it every day.
I'm like, that is not normal.
Yeah. Like it's just a layup. He's just like, whoop, all right, there we go. Tie game.
He made Chet Holmgren the one guy on Oklahoma City's team that is tall enough to stop some of the stuff that they're doing. He made Chet Holmgren look like a child. Chet Holmgren, Mr. All-Star, Mr. Stylish guy, whatever you want to call him, he finished with 8 points. 8 points. You did squat against Wembanyama. They had Lou Dort and Alex Caruso trying to guard Wemby. That's not going to work. Chet Holmgren, you got to grow you a pair and step up. Because if you want your team wants a chance to win, you got to do something. At least be some kind of roadblock. Give them something on the offensive end. I think they're in a hell of. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are in a hell of a lot of trouble.
They are.
I really do. Not to. I don't want to overblow this, but I don't want to undersell this either. Dylan Harper was the second pick in the draft, and for the season, he was kind of he was a backup guy. They had De'Aaron Fox playing there, and he was just kind of meh. Well, De'Aaron Fox couldn't start the other night. And Dylan Harper, who, when we've talked about this, his dad was Ron Harper, was in the league for a long time, played with Jordan's Bulls, and so he knows a thing or two about basketball. Dylan Harper in the spot start the other night, 24 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 steals. This is all this while guarding the MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who, like I said, 24 points, but it was on 23 shots.
Good enough for government work.
There's never been a rookie that has had a stat line like that in their first playoff game. It's beyond impressive. You've got Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. You've got a ton of young players on that team around Wembanyama, guys that are dogs, guys that will get after you. And the best player on the Oklahoma City Thunder team the other night was Alex Caruso, which double whammy on that one because he went to A&M and he plays for an Oklahoma team. So, yeah, there's no way in heck I'm gonna like you and your goofy headband. But he did. I mean, he had a great game the other night, but you can't count on that from him. You can't count on that from
not every night,
every game.
Yeah.
No,
he's not going to do that every night. No.
He gonna bust his ass. He's gonna be a defensive pest. He's gonna be, but you're not gonna. You don't need him. You shouldn't have him guarding Wemby, and you can't count on him for scoring. And if they think they're going to get that again every night against this team, you're sadly mistaken. I think Oklahoma City's in trouble. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But if San Antonio goes out tonight and takes game 2,
look out.
This series it's about a wrap.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he got his guys really nice watches and trench coats. There's only a few kinds of people that wear trench coats, John. Private detectives and perverts. So it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my own take on that. I'm sorry for going too far on that.
Before we jump into our first break, let's talk about some women's softball. The Texas girls, they advanced their 7th straight regional. Friday, the girls beat Wagner 9-1. Then on Saturday, they beat Wisconsin 9-0. And then on Sunday, they beat Baylor 7-0. Just straight dominance. They take on Arizona State this weekend, weather permitting, because there's supposed to be a lot of weather down in Central Texas. Who, if you don't know, Forkham Devils, they eliminated the rival hated Aggies in the College Station Regional, beating them twice.
Good.
First, sending them to the losers bracket, beating them 4-3, and then whooping that Aggie ass 9-1 in the elimination game. So, and I'm pretty sure that A&M hired their coach from Arizona State. So it's kind of bittersweet for Arizona State doing what they do best. beating Aggie ass.
Love it.
So, the SEC tournament is underway for the baseball, or SEC tournament is underway for baseball. Last weekend was the last regular week of the baseball season, and then they released, the SEC award winners. So when we get back from break, we can jump into baseball and talk about the SEC award winners and the freshman all SEC teams. Won't talk too much about the scores or what happened, because it was a sweep for your good guy Texas Longhorns, but pretty impressive for the good guys, because they did something that hasn't been done by a pair of Texas pitchers since I believe it was 2009. So we'll talk about that when we come back.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Your customers already pay for your product. They pay sales tax. And if they use a credit card, they may even pay interest on top of that. The fees add up. The last thing they need in today's economy is another fee at checkout. And as a business owner, you feel that too, because every extra charge can impact how customers see your brand. At Swipe Merchant Services, our mission is to help you avoid that. And by lowering your processing costs, you don't have to pass fees on to your customers just to stay profitable. That means smoother transactions, better customer experiences, and stronger long-term local relationships. Because when people feel good about doing business with you, they come back and they tell others. This isn't just about saving money. It's about building a business people trust. Join the Swipe Nation today and start doing business the smarter way at swipenationusa.com.
All right. All right. Before we jump back into it, just a reminder, today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at NTX Media at ntxradio.com. So the Longhorns earned a sweep this weekend over Mizzou. Dylan Volantis K'd 12 across 7 innings. He gave up a solo shot. I think it was the first at bat. But after that, he retired 21 of 24 batters. He recorded his first 6 outs via punch out. And then he eclipsed he eclipsed 100 punch outs for the first – he eclipsed 100 punch outs this season. So just for the record, Volantis and Riojas became the first pair of Longhorns pitchers to record 100 punch outs since Cole Green and Taylor Youngman did in 2011. So Cole Green had 104 and Taylor Youngman had a hell of a year that year. He had 126. punch outs
Oh, yeah.
that season.
Oh, yeah.
So Borba continued his hot streak. He had a 2-run bomb. Tenney hit his 18th home run that year. 18th home run of the year. And Sam Cozart got his 7th save. Texas won 6-3. Carson Tenney on Friday hit his 7th career multi-home run game, including a 456-foot grand slam over the monster in center field. Carson Tenney had a hell of a weekend. Borba also hit another home run, gave him 17 home runs for the season, I believe it was, and Texas won 11-6. Ruger came out, pitched to the first batter on Saturday, and then they took him out. They did it just for senior day so that he could get the start. Took him out, resting his arm. Over the weekend, Carson Tenney hit .538 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs with a 1.99 or 933 OPS. Texas won 12-7, clinching a number 2 finish in the SEC and a double bye in the SEC tourney, where we will wait for the winner of South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas on Friday, May 22nd at 4 p.m. So I don't know if Texas is really going to play the SEC tourney, and we'll figure out what they're going to do judging on who they pitch on Friday night. If they come out pitching a freshman Friday night, that tells you what they're going to be doing. They're just playing for postseason. If I was Texas, I don't give a shit about that tournament. I'm just
You're still going to host a regional.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, and let everyone talk all the crap they want to do. It's about postseason success. If you win the SEC tournament, that does nothing for you, right? We're want to rest our good arms, get some extra cuts. Just go out there and pitch the young kids and let them see what they got. You know, that's where we're at. So on to the next SEC baseball awards. So player of the year was Georgia's catcher Daniel Jackson. I didn't realize how good a season this kid had, man.
Yeah, he's a freaking monster.
Dude batted .394 with 27 home runs and 77 RBIs with 25 stolen bases.
That's the only reason Carson Tenney was not your first team catcher.
Oh, yeah, dude. First D1 catcher to hit for 25 plus home runs and 25 steals in the same season. That's never been done before, which is kind of crazy. And Carson Tenney is a big dude and he can run. I'm kind of scared to think what Daniel Jackson can do if he can do that. You know, that's kind of insane. Florida's Aiden King won pitcher of the year. He's a sophomore as well. Had an 8-2 record with a 2.50 ERA with a .93 WHIP. He's the first underclassman to win the award at Florida. He won that over Texas' Dylan Volantis. I'll tell you this. The only reason that he won this is because they could not give this award to three Texas players. Dylan Volantis should have won this award.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan Volantis had, I think, 1 less start than him or 2 less starts than him. And he had 10 more strikeouts than he did. I think his ERA was a little higher. I think Aiden King's WHIP was lower. But if you look at the stats side by side, Dylan Volantis was the better pitcher. But I digress. Freshman of the year, no surprise here, Anthony Pack Jr. led the SEC in batting with a .400 average in the SEC. Can't argue with that. He had 4 home runs, 10 doubles, 20 RBIs. That's elite for a freshman in the SEC. Can't argue.
Hit over 500 in conference play, I believe. I believe that's what they said. It was over 5 something in conference play. Which is even more impressive. He
hit 400 in the SEC.
400 in the SEC. Okay.
In the SEC, outside of the conference, he hit over 500.
Okay,
which is still it's insane.
Outstanding. It's outstanding.
You're an 18-year-old kid doing that. That's unheard of. Texas's newcomer of the year, Aiden Robbins, transferred from Seton Hall. He hit .339 in the SEC, 11 home runs, 24 RBIs. A&M's Gavin Grahovac won Scholar Athlete of the Year. He hit 344. He was the SEC leader in slugging with a 743, which is freaking insane.
Yeah.
He had 40 RBIs. He drove in 35 runs, 11 home runs, and he had a 3.85 GPA. Hats off to that kid. Smart and a damn good baseball player. I'll give it to him. Kid can play some baseball.
Yep.
Georgia's Wes Johnson won Coach of the Year, 23-7 record. It's Georgia's first league title since 2008. I was kind of conflicted here. I mean, you got to give it to them. They won the SEC. They won 40 games, 23-7 record. I kind of wanted to give this to Mike Early. Honestly, they were picked to finish 13th, and you can't argue with what A&M did this year. Mike Early kind of deserved it. But, I mean, I can't argue with them giving it to Georgia's Wes Johnson. Mike Early deserves some credit with what he did after what happened last year and the bad season they had. But, you know, Wes Johnson won it. They deserve it, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate giving credit to A&M, but Mike Early's a damn good coach. Can't argue. Well, he was this season. So, all SEC first team. Of course, catcher Daniel Jackson from Georgia, first base Gavin Grahovac, A&M, second base Chris Hakopian, A&M, also Chris Rembert from Auburn, third base Trey Phelps from Georgia, Ace Reese from Mississippi State, shortstop Tyler Bell, Kentucky, outfielder Caden Sorrell, he's a beast too, Aiden Robbins from Texas, and Ryan Lujo from Georgia. Your starting pitchers, of course, Dylan Volantis and Aiden King. Your relief pitchers, of course, freshman Sam Cozart and Clayton Freshcorn from A&M. All SEC second team. I only wrote the notables, which are Carson Tenney and Anthony Pack Jr., because those are all that matter to me. And then I wrote the freshman all SEC notables. You got two from Texas, Sam Cozart, Anthony Pack Jr. From A&M, there's Jorian Wilson and Nico Partita. And then from Tennessee, you got Ethan Bingaman and Trent Grindlinger, and then Mississippi State, Jacob Parker. So,
it's a hell of a season for the Longhorns so far, man. I'd like to see what they can do. We get into the playoffs a little bit.
There's a lot more baseball news. I wrote down the top 16 projected Field 64 projections, but we can get into something else, and we can get into this later if we have time.
Well, your Rangers, or our Rangers, if you will, somehow managed to pull one out of the crapper today. They were two outs from losing 2 of 3 to a terrible Colorado team. I would say the worst team in baseball, the worst team in the National League, definitely, and the team with the second worst record in baseball after the team you're going to be playing the next few days in Anaheim. But this is. How are we going to play the Dodgers? Who are we playing this weekend? They're going to be playing. They're playing at somebody in LA. But anyway, you just lost 2 of 3 to the god awful Astros, and you're on the verge of losing 2 out of 3 to the god awful Colorado Rockies. Had a big one yesterday. Went 10-0, beat the crap out of them. Got excellent pitching from Kumar Rocker. Today, it was just kind of a meh game. And in the 9th inning, somehow Colorado managed to choke it away because there was only one or two balls that were actually hit solid. You had infield hits and hit by pitches, and they scored the tying run on a wild pitch. I don't have much to say about this. Somehow, John, some way, this team, they're 24-25. They're a half game out of first place in the division.
Our division is god awful.
Oh God, it's terrible. 500. The A's are 500. They're 24-24, and they got a half game lead in the American League West.
It's disgusting baseball.
Oh, it's very, very mediocre.
Dude, just blow it up and start all over. Like I don't even care anymore. Like I was watching the game yesterday. Like they were winning. They were beating Colorado 7-0, 8-0 at that point. I was like, I'm just going to bed. Nikki's like, you don't want to stay up and watch this? I was like, we're doing what we should be doing to Colorado. Like, I'm not impressed at this. You're beating a minor league team. Good.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
We should not have lost the game the night before.
Nope.
You should beat this team by 5 runs on a bad night. Like this is pathetic.
Yeah.
The offense is so pathetically terrible. And if you want to blame the fact that, Mackenzie Gore got hurt in the first inning, okay, why do we have 2 runners on in the first inning, Mackenzie? Like, what are you doing? You suck. Like, get a pitching lesson. I know a guy. Like, you need it.
To make matters worse, Brandon Nimmo left the game this afternoon. Something's going on with his leg, and he's been one of our better hitters this year. That's not saying a lot, but he's been one of our better hitters this year, and we are already banged up pretty bad,
especially.
Yeah. And I don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully, it's just the one off day, and he's good to go. He's good to go.
Are we ever going to see Wyatt Langford again?
Yeah, no Langford, no Seager. Now you're down Nimmo. Hopefully, it's not for very long, because this offense was struggling with all those guys, so it's going to be next to non-existent without it. The only reason you won that game today was because of who you were playing.
Yeah.
Period. You play a halfway decent team, there's no chance you win that game.
Yeah. No.
So it was, this guy hit Jock Peterson with a pitch. Good God, come on, you can throw it right down the middle. He's not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, he's going to miss it. About 85% of the time, since we're being honest.
Yeah,
that just takes bad. A little bit of math. It's sad, but I actually watched Jock hit the ball 3 times last night. I think it was in one game. It was crazy. I wasn't watching highlights. It was in one game. I watched him hit 3 times. It was crazy. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man, I'm right on the border of blowing this up. There's got to be something to spark this team. They are playing terrible baseball teams right now, and they should be beating the crap out of them. You can blame the injuries, you can blame what you want, but even when everybody was healthy, this team was not hitting. What is going on?
If I have to look over, like if the camera pans over and I have to see our manager just stand there with that stupid blank look on his face again, I'm going to throw something at my TV. He just it's emotionless, and maybe he's just as dumbfounded by the stupid shit that happens during the game as I am.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it, right? Maybe he's tried. Maybe that's it. Maybe I don't know, because he's just stuck with it like we are. And we had this discussion, maybe it was last week or the week before, where he's, CY is just stuck with the roster because he's not allowed to spend money. He's not allowed to acquire different talent because, as you're aware, Ray Davis and his penny pinching ways, he's like, hey, it is what it is. This is what we're stuck with. This is all we can do. We do what you can. Right.
You are in the 4th largest media market in the country. Mm-hmm. Spend money like it or leave.
If you don't want to spend money, sell to someone who will, Ray.
Yes.
If you don't want to do it, you already got a brand new stadium that you didn't need, since we're being honest. If you wanted new shit, you could have remodeled. It'd have been cheaper.
One thing about Jerry Jones, he may not spend money right, but he will spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good for the Rangers. You have a good baseball man in place in Chris Young, who has proven that he can evaluate talent.
Mm-hmm.
The man knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Open the checkbook a little bit and give him a little bit of leeway.
Yes. I'm not asking you to spend Dodgers or Yankee money.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to spend Cleveland Guardian money.
Wow, big numbers.
Yeah. Pick a team in the middle, right? Don't act like you're the Oakland Athletics.
Yes.
We're not.
Yeah. You're not playing in Sacramento.
You're in a how many billion-dollar stadium?
Yeah.
Act like it, dude.
Yeah.
I understand you don't want to pay the luxury tax.
You realize that stadium's already hosted 2 different World Series.
Mm-hmm.
One, of course, we weren't in one of them. Obviously, it was the Dodgers. And Corey Seager was the star of both of
Yep.
But I have not been impressed with what the Rangers have been throwing out there. I believe there's more there, but they've got to find somebody to spark it. And they continue to just let Jock Peterson steal money. It baffles the mind. I love Andrew McCutchen, but when he's having to play a lot of innings and he's playing a lot, your team's probably not going to be that good. I love Kutch. He's a great locker room guy, but he ain't got it on the field anymore. And you're rolling out there guys like Michael Hellman and Sam Haggerty and Antonio Osuna, and those guys are fringe major league players at best.
Yeah, spot start.
Yes,
that's what those guys play when one of your guys needs a day off.
That's it.
That's when those guys play.
Instead, those guys are starting for you.
Well, and a lot of it is because your cornerstone outfielder can't stay hurt because he's got a hangnail and a bad hamstring, and Brandon Nimmo, he's got a leg injury that, I remember when he hurt it, he's been dealing with that for a few weeks now, right? And then he stepped awkwardly. He stepped on someone's foot running to the bag. I think it was against the Yankees, maybe. Or maybe it was against the D-backs. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, he's not coming back. And then he was in the lineup the next day, right? And then, hats off to Kumar Rocker. I'm one of his biggest critics, and he pitched great last night. Mind you, again, it's the damn Rockies, right? It's like pitching to the Helen Keller School of the Blind, but he pitched, 8 innings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had the opener. Tyler Alexander came in and pitched the first inning, and he pitched the rest of them. So, you gave your bullpen the day off, essentially. Great.
I will say this. How about Latsy? Let's tip the cap to that young man. They've been jerking him around. They've jerked him around for from last year all the way through the offseason this year and into the beginning of this year. Oh, we're going to give you a chance to earn the 5th starter spot. Oh, you had the better spring. Nope, you're still not going to be the 5th starter. You're going to go to the bullpen. You're going to be the long man. Oh, wait, we need a closer. What? You're going to be the closer now. And he has really taken to that spot. His stuff plays up. He's got a little more juice on the fastball.
Mm-hmm.
He's got no fear. He's going right after guys.
Yep.
And he had another hell of an outing today. He's the real deal, man. They got to give him a role and let him stick to it, and don't keep jerking him around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's got talent, man.
He's done a heck of a job. A job. Now, again, we just need some consistent play. If you're going to be bad, be consistently bad. If you're going to be good, be consistently good. I know it's baseball, shit happens, you're going to lose a game, but you can't just score 7 runs and then not score for a week, and then score 10 runs and then not score for a week, dude.
They managed 1 hit against the Astros the other night, John.
I watched.
What is that line? What is that line from Harry Doyle, from Bob Uecker as Harry Doyle in the movie Major League? 1 god dang hit. We managed 1 god dang hit.
Yeah. The Rangers continue to be the bane of our existence since the World Series he won in 2023. And I looked at Mickey. I'm sitting there on the couch. She goes, "You ready for bed?" And I'm like, at least they won a World Series, so I can't complain too much. I can say that I watched my baseball team win a World Series. So
I did enjoy watching the Houston Astros organization set off their little home run light flashing show. Even though they didn't hit a home run, Brandon Nimmo took it away from Alvarez.
Robbed it from him.
Oh, psych. You didn't get that one.
So we got a few minutes before we jump into some till the show ends. So I got a projection of field of 64. So I'm going to list off the top 16 teams, and then I've got a little bit written about one of the teams in each of these pods, right? Yeah. That could give that team some trouble, right?
Yeah.
So the top 16, right? Projected. It could change a little bit due to these tournaments, right? So
yeah.
1 is UCLA, 2 Georgia Tech, 3 Georgia, 4 North Carolina, 5 Texas, 6 Alabama, 7 Auburn, 8 A&M, 9 Southern Miss, 10 Florida, 11 Florida State, 12 West Virginia, 13 Nebraska, 14 Mississippi State, 15 Kansas, and 16 Oregon. So UCLA, I wrote down Virginia, right? Brian O'Connor is not at UVA, but it's still UVA, right? And compound that with the fact that UCLA has not played anybody worth a damn all season, with the exception of early in the year. That bullpen hasn't been tested in weeks, and they actually lost a couple games. They lost to Oregon, and they lost a game to Washington within the last few weeks. So they've showed that they can bleed. They're mortal, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Georgia Tech, they got OU matched up with them, and OU will play some small ball. So they will small ball you to death. And they've got capable pitching. So they catch you at the wrong time, they can beat you. And Georgia Tech has shown to be susceptible at times. So, Georgia Tech, look out for
They have a couple of really talented kids on that Georgia Tech team.
They do.
Their catcher Vaughn Lackey is going to be a top 3 pick. That's the bottom end. He won't go any lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to go after two shortstops. One kid for the kid from UCLA, Chalowski, and then the kid from Fort Worth Christian there.
Yep.
But
yeah, Jace met him too. So
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Spencer Strohschneider from Brock, Texas, TCU Horned Frogs end up at the Rangers. I've seen some mocks for him to go to Texas, for him to be drafted by Texas, and I would not be at all upset to see that happen.
So Georgia, they got matched up with Miami, who's a blue blood, and Mercer. Mercer is a 40-win team. So that's, I know it's Georgia. I know they're tough. I know they can hit, but, look out. North Carolina, they got High Point. High Point took a series from Florida and UCF. UCF is capable. It's a Big 12 team. Texas, in 2009, Boston College and Texas played a 25-inning game that ended up being the longest game in college baseball history. Texas ended up winning 3-2. Alabama got matched up with Jackson State. That's a 42-win team. And Arizona State, that's a tough draw. Auburn, Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest is having a down year, comparatively speaking, to most seasons, but Wake Forest is capable. A&M got matched up with UTSA. And being a Texas fan, UTSA can ruin your season. I know.
Oh, firsthand. They can. Let's do it. Come on, UTSA. Do it to them, too.
Do it to them. Southern Miss. Tennessee has been on a tear recently. Tennessee's been put in Southern Miss's regional, as well as TCU. Now, Schloss isn't at TCU anymore, but TCU can get hot. We've all seen it before.
Yep.
Florida has Cincinnati. Cincinnati has played good ball at times this season. Florida State has been matched up with Kentucky and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State started off down here. They played better as the season went on. And at one point, Kentucky was a top 10 team at one point this season. West Virginia, USC was one of the last undefeated teams in the country this year. They've got capable pitching, so who knows what'll happen there. Nebraska has Arkansas. You never know. Arkansas is one of those teams that can play with anybody. They can also lose to anybody. That's one of their drawbacks this season. Mississippi State, they got Coastal Carolina in their regional. Nobody wants to play Coastal Carolina in the postseason.
Nobody.
Kevin Schnall will have them ready to play. Kansas has been one of the surprise teams this year, but Ole Miss can beat anybody, and Ole Miss has been put in their regional. And then lastly, I got Oregon. Oregon State is put in their regional, and Oregon State is a 40-win team, but they don't have a conference. So they were ranked at number 17, I believe it was. So now these are all projections. So, that's just kind of my 2 cents on, where everybody could be,
We shall see.
we shall see. You know, they got some surprises out there, so we'll have some selections. You know, I'll have the real lineups next week, and we'll talk about it. So
Let's do it.
book them.
From back roads to big cities and where the West begins, we are the voices of North Texas.
Storm damage is stressful, but dealing with your insurance company shouldn't be. You expect your coverage to be there for you, but too often, claims are denied, delayed, or underpaid, leaving homeowners and business owners stuck paying the price. If your roof or property has been damaged, the insurance company's first offer isn't always the right one. At Todd Hurd and Associates, attorneys at law, they've spent over 25 years helping clients navigate complex insurance claims and fight back when coverage falls short. Whether it's roof damage, structural issues, or storm-related losses, their team works to make sure you receive the compensation you're entitled to. Don't leave money on the table, and don't take on the burden alone. Call Todd Hurd and Associates today at 817-426-4529. That's 817-426-4529. Get the support you need